What phrase do you absolutely hate? I don't want to hear excuses. This is usually said by a manager who asked for reasons why something wasn't done, is given a perfectly reasonable explanation, and doesn't want to address the underlying issues behind that explanation. Cheaters never prosper. That phrase is so inaccurate today. Or hard work leads to success. Some of the most hard-working people I met have been poor for decades. We rarely hear the stories of people who worked their butt off but for whatever reason failed to succeed. Survivor bias is a real thing. You can see it on Reddit occasionally. There are people who kept moving up the ladder financially and are extremely disdainful to anyone else not able or willing to do the same. The most famous example of survivorship bias dates back to World War II. At the time, the American military asked mathematician Abraham Wald to study how best to protect airplanes from being shot down. The military knew armor would help, but couldn't protect the whole plane or would be too heavy to fly well. Initially, their plan had been to examine the planes returning from combat, see where they were hit the worst, the wings, around the tail gunner and down the center of the body, and then reinforce those areas. But Wald realized they had fallen prey to survivorship bias, because their analysis was missing a valuable part of the picture, the planes that were hit but that hadn't made it back. As a result, the military were planning to armor precisely the wrong parts of the planes. The bullet holes they were looking at actually indicated the areas a plane could be hit and keep flying exactly the areas that didn't need reinforcing. BBC.com. Do what you love and the money will follow. I like sitting on my ass and watching TV, but that ain't paying the bills. Yeah, this is bollocks. I love the gym, my passion is strength and fitness. Making a salary that even remotely acceptable in that industry is almost impossible. Instead, I do a well-paid job, from home, with flexibility in a different industry, and I can then buy all the gym equipment I want and use it when I want. Sometimes, though, there is a beauty in having a hobby apart from your work. As a musician, I quit my pursuit of wanting to become a session musician pretty quickly once I turned 19 for the same reasons. Difficult to make serious money, it caused me to go on a 5-year hiatus from playing at the level I once did. Now, like you, I have a career in a different field and I've rediscovered the joy of playing. There is nothing stressful bearing down on me, it's purely for my enjoyment. And to be honest, that has been big for my mental health. It's a part of my life where I am totally in control of my progress, so to speak. Do I want to play with other musicians? Sure, but on my own time. Loving this thread. Happy Friday. This is a great read because I'm the opposite. I stuck with music, have been very successful with it, record producer, but I no longer have a love for music. I love basketball, making YouTube tutorials and building mechanical keyboards. Eventually, everything becomes a job and it no longer becomes a passion. To be fair, it took me about 30 plus years in the business to become completely over it. That's the way we've always done things. That kind of mentality leaves no room for growth or change. My go-to answer to that is, yeah, if everybody did that, we'd still live in caves. Many were increasingly of the opinion that they'd all made a big mistake in coming down from the trees in the first place. And some said that even the trees had been a bad move, and that no one should ever have left the oceans. Douglas Adams. Regarding your last 7 tax returns. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Sometimes it's true. Other times, what doesn't kill you leaves you paralyzed and traumatized. What doesn't kill you makes you wish you were dead. There's a hole in my heart getting deeper and deeper. And I can't take one more moment of this silence. The loneliness is haunting me. That's why you get paid the big bucks. I think it's funny, but my old boss hated that phrase cause it kept him accountable for doing actual work. I have to say this all the time at work. I'm just there to help. They're the ones doing the actual work. I do the same thing. The good news is that the skilled people I manage actually do make more money than me, so I don't sound like a sarcastic bitch. When they need my help and I provide it, they hit me back with the same phrase, and that hurts the old feelings a bit. Why are you still talking about it? Usually said by someone who you let say their side of the argument, and instead of hearing yours, has opted to go this route. Irritating, because if you do this, both parties come out learning and improving absolutely nothing. I had a friend that would say I'm over it. Drove me crazy. Cool, I'm not, and I'd like to talk about it. It's in the past. Yes, but my feelings regarding it are very much present. It's all in your head. The best response I ever heard to that was, yeah, no shit. Where else would it be, my ass? Back in the day when I used to work retail, without fail a customer, usually an older guy, would walk in and greet me with working hard, or hardly working. They would chuckle to themselves like they just dropped the most clever pun that I'd ever heard, not knowing I hear it from multiple customers every day. I worked at a grocery store and would ask PPL of, "Is there anything else I can get for you today?" When I didn't feel like saying the full line of "Do you need ice, stamps, or anything else today?" Every day someone would reply the winning lottery numbers and assume they're so damn clever for such a response. I would still get it when I said the second thing, as it does include the phrase, but not nearly as often. I even one time had a higher-up manager say this to me when he went through my line despite knowing that is something we should be asking. Item doesn't ring up, must be free. Chuckle chuckle. My reply to this lately has been, "Yeah, you're right, but I'm going to have to charge you for using that joke." Do your research. God, that phrase triggers me. It's my dad's go-to for literally everything. And of course doing my research to clearly show him that he is wrong about even the most objective things, like literally the price of a car or something, will have him acting like I've totally misconstrued what he said, that I'm taking things completely out of context, and lo and behold, I'm exactly the idiot he thinks I am. I'm not rude, I'm just honest. You can be honest without being an asshole, Becky. Honesty without tact is cruelty. Kristen Bell's therapist. Edit. Failed on writing her name correctly, sorry. Other people have it worse, thank you for invalidating my struggle. I hate this. I wild never be a malnourished orphan child in a deserted country. Does that mean I cannot be sad, ever? Tell that malnourished orphan the other malnourished orphan who's also infected with guinea worm has it worse. Geez, at least they lived long enough to be an orphan and suffer. What about all the babies who died at birth? Check your privilege. In case that's not as obvious as I hope it is. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. People that believe this are often just shitty people in general with zero self-awareness. Edit. I'm seeing several comments in here with the rebuttal that literally no one says this. On the contrary, this attitude is very prominent in social media, that attitude being, I am who I am and people can deal with it, and if they don't like it, duck them with no introspection or willingness to grow. This quote may not be used directly, but similar quotes and memes float all over that convey the same message, and that message is good on the surface, but often used as a scapegoat to be an asshole. This quote is just the most well-known example. As a mother. Ducker. Dad? Positive vibes only. Bitch, I am sad. I can't keep up with Genki go-getter types. Edit, just to let folks know I'm okay. I really appreciate everybody that reached out. I am okay and just going day by day 3. Because I said so. As of the past year, we're all in this together. Excuse me? No, we're ducking not. In these unprecedented times. In these unprecedented times, your call is important to us, but we can't be bothered to answer your call. And they've all added due to a higher volume of callers, your wait will be longer than normal. Like a thought's probably true sometimes, but definitely not all of them. And my wait was duckin' long before the pandemic. Don't bullshit me. The only disability is a bad attitude. Duck no. Spina bifida, and a multitude of other things, is 100% a disability. Stupid inspirational porn. The only disability is a bad attitude. Yeah, okay, but I still can't ducking walk. Not with that attitude anyway. Stay mad. It's the worst comeback ever. Stay mad, kid, and you can't even say I'm not even mad cause then you sound 11 years old. I've never thought of a good response to this. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. I get it, but this is the line that makes my kids, well, just my daughter, really stop and think. She can deal with mom being mad, but being actually disappointed in what she did, that one hits home. My son, on the other hand, he gives 0 ducks either way. Your expectations aren't my problem, said your son, probably.